Let us deal with the drift current here. So before going deep into this derivations and explanation of drift current, uh, let us see what we have to consider here, what type of semiconductors we need to consider here. If you want to learn drift current, you need to apply first, you need to take a uniformly doped semiconductor. Uniformly doped semiconductor. So what is uniformly doped semiconductor? It is uniformly doped throughout its region. See this structure of semiconductor. From here to here, it is uniformly doped with three charge carriers. From here to here, it is doped with three charge carriers. From here to here, it is doped with three charge carriers. So if you consider per area, the charge carrier doping concentration is uniform. So that is called as uniformly doped semiconductor. And here per area, it has been divided into equal doping concentrations here. You can assume this one as a hole, or it may be an electron. Or now I am taking this one as considering as p-type semiconductor. P-type uniformly doped semiconductor, isn't it? So p-type uniformly doped semiconductor I am taking. So majority charge carriers are what? If it is p-type semiconductor, majority charge carriers are holes. Majority are holes. And what are minority charge carriers? Minority are electrons. So here I am applying a external electric field which is called applied electric field. Here it's not a potential, it is electric field I am applying. What is this electric field? It is given by capital E. Electric field is equal to voltage per meter. It is equal to voltage per meter. That means how much voltage I am applying for every distance, for every centimeter or for every meter. That is what called as applied electric field. And its units are, it can be written as E is equal to volt per meter. Right? Now here I am applying this electric field here, plus sign I am applying, here minus sign I am applying. Suppose E is equal to, I am applying as 1 volt. 1 volt per meter. That means for every 1 meter distance, this voltage will be applied. Suppose if you consider this is 1 meter distance, then that voltage will be applied only for this 1 meter distance charge carriers. And also here also 1 meter distance charge carriers. It will be affected only with the 1 meter distance charge carriers. So therefore, if I apply here now plus 1 and minus 1, what happens? This is a hole. Hole means always a positively charged particle. It's a hole, a positively charged particle. So hole plus plus will repel each other. This plus and this plus will repel each other and moves away from this positive charge. So therefore, while this charge carrier is moving, see this is not moving. Only up to this point the charge carriers are moving. This is not moving because I am applying electric field which is nothing but 1 volt per meter. So therefore, this charge carrier which is present here, a positive hole, will move towards front side and it will collide with another hole here. Because this hole is not moving, only the first hole is moving. This first hole moves towards straight towards the other side, and therefore while it is moving it will overcome this hole and therefore it will collide. Collision takes place here. Here what takes place means collision takes place. Due to this collision, what happens means this first charge carrier bounce towards the other side. Bounce towards the other side. It will bounce towards the other side. This bounce is also called drift. This bouncing is also called drift. Technical meaning of bouncing is called drift. So the first charge carrier now it is colliding with the another charge carrier and it is bouncing in other direction. This bouncing is called a drift. While it is bouncing with another positive hole here, again what it does, again it will collide with this one, again it will move towards in another direction like this. Now this is where is the first charge carrier. Previously this here the position of first charge carrier, from here it is gone here, again it is drifted, again it is been drifted, again it is colliding with this one. Now again first charge carrier is colliding with this one, again it is going like this. So first hole is moving from this position to this position, and this hole is a positively charged particle, therefore it is attracted towards this negative side. it is attracted towards this negative sign. As you see here, whole moment position is being changed from first position to last position here. So therefore, as you know already, we have discussed in very first classes of semiconductor physics in atomic structure, whole position is being changing from this point to this point. So therefore, in turn, what is created? Current is created. So what is that current? Its current is a whole current, right? And this current, which has happened due to drifting of the charge carriers, drifting of the charge carriers. That means due to bouncing of the charge carriers, it is called a drift current. That is called a drift current. The current produced due to drifting of the charge carriers from one position to another position is called drift current. It is called drift current. Now, while the charge carrier is moving from one position to another position, it is possessed by some velocity. That velocity is called drift velocity. The velocity possessed by drifting of the charge carriers from one point to another point is called drift velocity. It is given by drift velocity. Right? So here the important terms we need to overcome is one is drift current, other one is drift velocity, and here we are taking uniformly doped semiconductor, and here we are applying external electric field. Applied external electric field. Applied external electric field. Unless and until if you do not apply external electric field, then no charge carrier will move from left side to right side. Left side to right side. Right? So therefore, if you want to observe drift current in semiconductors, you need to follow all these points. You need to follow all these points, and you will get different definitions like drift current and drift velocity. So here, some important derivations will exist here. Let us see what are those important derivations which are useful for GATE exam and various competitive exams. Here, what I am telling is drift velocity is observed here, which is V. So always do remember drift velocity is given by this v, small v, right? Potential is given by V, not this tail one. No? Potential you will be getting here like this voltage, which is called volt per meter. This is called as potential or voltage, right? Now, some important derivations will derive here. First derivation, you know that drift velocity, suppose here, if you consider here, starting stage I am applying +1 and -1. Suppose if I apply +2 and -2 here, that is what is that one? Previously I am applying E is equal to 1. Now I am applying E is equal to 2. 1 means what? Volt per meter. 2 means 2 volts per meter. So here +2 and here -2. What happens? Drifting of the charge carriers increases. Drift current increases. Similarly, what happens? Drift velocity also increases. So therefore, I can say that drift speed or drift velocity, drift speed or drift velocity, drift speed or drift velocity V is directly proportional to electric field intensity E. Is directly proportional to electric field intensity E. So because E increases, what happens to velocity? Increases. E decreases, what happens to velocity? Decreases. So that's what V is directly proportional to E. Very, very important equation. I can write this one as, I can remove this directly proportional. I can write this one as V is equal to mu into E. V is equal to mu into E. Now we are learning for what type of semiconductor this one? This is a P-type semiconductor, isn't it? This is a P-type semiconductor. So I can write this one as V is equal to drift speed V is equal to mu suffix P into capital E. Mu suffix P into capital E, where mu is called mobility. Mu is called mobility of charge carrier. It is given by mobility of holes, because the suffix P I am writing here. So therefore, it is equal to mu suffix P, mobility of holes. It is nothing but mobility of holes. E is electric field intensity, V is drift speed. Now, the important equation here. You know what is drift speed? It's nothing but drift velocity or speed. Now tell me what are the units for mobility here. Units for mobility. The first and foremost important point, units for mobility. What are units for mobility? How to calculate units for mobility means, see the formula, you have V is equal to mu E. So I can write this one as mu is equal to V divided by E. So what is the mu is equal to drift speed? What are units for speed? Units for speed are meters per second divided by electric field intensity, volts per meter. So therefore, what happens? Meter per second into meter per volt. So that is equal to meter square by volt second. These are the units for mobility. Mobility is equal to meter square per volt second. Meter square per volt second. Mobility units are meter square per volt second. Okay. Very, very important point. It is asked in 2012 GATE examinations. Mobility units of mobility are mu is equal to meter square per volt second. Okay. Next. After that, I told you here current is existing. What is that current? Drift current. If current exists, current density also exists. Current exists, current density also exists. So what is that current density? Current density is given by current density is given by J. Current density is given by J. What is current density actually? That is current produced per every meter square, per every area. Current produced by per every meter square or per every area. So therefore current density J, what are units actually? It is equal to amperes per meter square. Amperes per meter square. Now current density, here current is existing, drift current, and also drift current density also exists. That is given by rho J is equal to rho into V, drift speed. Rho into V, where rho is nothing but volume. What is that volume? Rho is equal to means rho is equal to, from this rho can be written as PE if it is a p-type semiconductor. PE if it is a p-type semiconductor, and it is also written as that is equal to Ne if it is a n-type semiconductor. Ne if it is a n-type semiconductor. So J is equal to rho into V. V is called drift speed here. Rho is called volume. That volume is given by PE, p-type for p-type semiconductor, Ne for n-type semiconductor. Now I can write this one as J is equal to, because we are taking a p-type semiconductor here, so therefore I can take this one as rho is equal to P into E into V. And again this one can be written as J is equal to P into E into V. What is V? V from this first equation, write this one as first equation. What is V? V is equal to mu suffix P into capital E. PE mu PE. So this is the current density for holes. Current density of holes JP, because we are learning about p-type semiconductors. So JP is equal to PE mu PE. Right? Again this one can be written as in another form. You take it all of you. This one can be written as JP is equal to sigma P into capital E. JP is equal to sigma P into capital E. Okay. So what is sigma P called? Sigma P is called conductivity. Sigma P is called conductivity. And sigma P is given by, how do you write sigma P? If you compare this equation with this equation, this one with this equation, what do you get? JP is equal to sigma P is equal to PE mu P. PE mu P. So this is another again formula. Conductivity is given by PE mu P. Okay, this is second equation. This one is third equation. This one is fourth equation. Now, what are units for sigma P? Tell me. Sigma P is equal to, units are, how do you find units? It can be written as JP divided by capital E. Right? Now find out the units and tell me. What are units for conductivity? I'm going to next slide. Sigma P is equal to units for conductivity. So what are units for conductivity? Units for conductivity. So what is the formula? JP is equal to sigma P into E capital E, where sigma P is equal to PE mu P. Right? So now what is sigma P? if you want to find sigma P is equal to Jp divided by capital A. What is Jp? How to find units? Units. Sigma P is equal to Jp by E. Jp means what? Amperes per meter square divided by electric field intensity, volt per meter. That is equal to amperes per meter square into meter per volt. Meter square gets cancelled. That is equal to ampere divided by meter volt. This one can be written as 1 by meter volt by ampere. That is equal to, it can be written as what is volt by ampere? Volt by ampere is current. Voltage by current. What is voltage by current? V equal to IR, isn't it? R is equal to V by I. This is equal to voltage by current. Voltage by current means what? Resistance. So what are units for resistance? Ohms. Or it can be given by the symbol. So I can write this one as ohms. Or this one can be written as 1 by ohm meter. Or it can be written as ohm meter inverse. Ohm meter inverse. So ohm meter inverse is the units for conductivity. Very, very important point. Ohm meter inverse is the units for conductivity. Right? And sigma P is conductivity, and it is given by sigma P is equal to PE into mu P. PE into mu P. Now, another term exists that is called as resistivity. Resistivity is given by, resistivity is equal to 1 by conductivity. Resistivity is given by 1 by conductivity. That is equal to, what is 1 by conductivity? 1 by sigma P. So resistivity is always given by this rho. You should bend like this rho, not straight one. So resistivity rho is equal to 1 by sigma P. Now what are units for resistivity? Units for resistivity. Units for resistivity are rho is equal to 1 by conductivity. What are conductivity units? Ohm meter inverse. So now what are units for resistivity? That is equal to ohm meter. These are units for resistivity. Units for resistivity are ohm meters. Very, very important point, this one also. Units for resistivity are ohm meters. Right? Now, these are all we have learned for P-type semiconductors. Similarly, can you tell me for N-type semiconductor? Suppose if you take a N-type semiconductor and if you find the drift velocity, what are majority charge carriers here? Electrons. Electrons will go and collide another electron. It will drift and bounce, in turn creating drift current, and they will be positive drift velocity. So if it is N-type semiconductor, current density exists as due to electrons, Jn. So what is the formula for Jn? Jn is equal to Ne mu n into capital E. Ne mu n into capital E. Jn can be written as sigma n into capital E. What is the formula for sigma n? Sigma n is equal to Ne mu n. Where mu n is called mobility of electrons. Sigma n is conductivity of electrons. Likewise, this is N-type. You can write this one as also for P-type. Jp is equal to Pe mu P into capital E. P-type Jp is equal to sigma P into capital E. Sigma P is equal to Pe mu P. Right. Sigma n resistivity. What about resistivity? Resistivity is equal to 1 by sigma n. That is equal to 1 by Ne mu n. Here also, this is resistivity due to electrons. Resistivity for P-type semiconductor holds 1 by sigma P. That is equal to 1 by Pe mu P. Okay. So now tell me, what are these type of semiconductors? They are intrinsic or extrinsic semiconductors? These are not intrinsic semiconductors, they are extrinsic semiconductors, because this is N-type semiconductor. This is N-type semiconductor. So therefore, these are called extrinsic semiconductors. Extrinsic semiconductors. This is for N-type and this is for P-type. This is for P-type. Now, can you tell me the same equations for intrinsic semiconductors? What might be the equations for intrinsic semiconductor? Suppose if you take intrinsic semiconductor, what happens? What is the current density? The current density for intrinsic semiconductor is given by J. What is intrinsic? Intrinsic, both electrons and holes are equal. So therefore, here in N-type, majority charge carriers are electrons. In P-type, majority charge carriers are holes. But in intrinsic semiconductor, both electrons and holes are present, isn't it? So I can write J is equal to, it is both due to electrons and holes. Jn plus Jp. So therefore, what happens? J is equal to, current density J is equal to Jn. N means what? Ne mu n into E plus, what is Jp? Jp is equal to Pe mu P into capital E. So that is equal to, what is intrinsic semiconductor? I told you in last class, number of electrons concentration is equal to hole concentration, that is equal to intrinsic concentration Ni. N is equal to P is equal to Ni. Now substitute this one, J is equal to, instead of N, I can substitute Ni into E mu N into capital A plus, instead of P, I can substitute as Ni, E into mu P into capital E. Take out common terms, J is equal to, what are common terms here? Ni is common, E is common, capital E is common, into mu N plus mu P. So this is called current density for intrinsic semiconductor. Please do remember, this is the current density for intrinsic semiconductor. J is equal to Ni E capital E into mu N plus mu P. Similarly, we can write this one as, in terms of conductivity. J is equal to sigma into E. J is equal to sigma into E. What is sigma here? Sigma is equal to, sigma is conductivity of intrinsic semiconductor, that is equal to, sigma is given by Ni into E, into mu N plus mu P. So this is the conductivity, sigma conductivity for intrinsic semiconductor, and these are the formulas for P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor in terms of drift currents. So I hope you all got this formulas. These are very important for you, and let us take certain problems here. What problems exist here? Let us check it and let us solve it if they exist in GATE examinations and other competitive examinations. So before that, I am revising this one, drift current, all the formulas. Drift current, if you want to achieve drift current, you need to take uniformly doped semiconductor, and it should be it can be a P-type or N-type semiconductor, and drifting of electrons takes place, that is bouncing of electrons takes place. So the current produced due to bouncing or drift is called drift current, and the velocity possessed by the charge carriers is drift velocity, and you should apply external electric field. If you do not apply external electric field, no charge carrier will move, and therefore no current is generated. So therefore, these two important points you need to remember. If you want to achieve drift current, uniformly doped semiconductor you have to take, and applied external electric field should be there. So for that, I have applied V. Drift speed is directly proportional to electric field intensity. V can be written as mu into E. So we are taking P-type semiconductor, so therefore V is equal to mu PE. So likewise, mobility we have found units, meter square per volt second. And current is existing means current density also exists because it's amperes per meter square. So J is equal to rho V. Rho is a volume where it can be written as PE for P-type semiconductor, Ne for N-type semiconductor. P means concentration of holes, N means concentration of electrons, E is a charge. So current density J can be written as PE V, and V can be applied as mu E. Likewise, we can find conductivity also, sigma, where sigma is equal to PE mu P. So therefore, sigma is equal to PE, mu, P, and sigma units. If you want to find, then you can find the sigma units in the slide. Jp is equal to sigma into P, sigma is equal to Jp by E. So therefore, ohm meter inverse are the units for conductivity, and resistivity inverse is conductivity, or conductivity 1 by conductivity is equal to resistivity. So units are ohm meter, and the same formula exists here. Resistivity is equal to 1 by sigma P, that is 1 by PE mu P, or 1 by Ne mu N, and therefore for both n-type and p-type semiconductors, the formulas are like this. And if it is intrinsic semiconductor, both electrons and holes are present, so current is due to both electrons and holes. And that too, minority, very small current flows in intrinsic semiconductor, that we can neglect it. So but current density J is equal to Jn plus Jp. So if you apply it, you will get J is equal to Nie capital E into mu n plus mu p, or sigma is equal to Nie into mu n plus mu p, right? Now here one important thing again you need to study. The resistivity, you can observe here, resistivity can also be written in another form like this. Resistivity is also written in another form like this, that resistivity is equal to, resistivity in terms of area can be written like this. Resistivity can be written as resistivity can be written as resistivity is written as rho is equal to capital R A divided by L. This is another formula. Please do remember this one. RA divided by L. R is resistance, A is area, L is length. So for a square semiconductor, if you consider, because we are also considering that square semiconductor, if it is length of this one is L and A is area, then how to find resistivity means it is equal to RA by L. Now here, what is R? Units are ohms. What is area? Units are meter square. Divided by length is meters. Meter square gets cancelled. So what are the units for resistivity? Ohm meter. Ohm meter. So you can find even resistance also from this equation. From this equation, what is the resistance? Capital R is equal to rho L divided by A. Rho L divided by A. So this is the equation. This is another equation. Please do remember these two equations. They are very important for us. Okay. Resistivity in terms of resistance and area and length. Got it? Right. Now let us go for certain problems over here. So first problem, please take this problem. Is it clear, all of you? Hello? Any doubt in this, ma? Any doubt in this? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Take this problem. Which semiconductor valency electrons absorb more energy to become a free electron? Find the answer. Answer? Anyone answer? Please send me the answer through chat box.
Silicon.
Emma?
Gallium arsenide.
Very good. Answer is gallium arsenide. Answer is gallium arsenide. Which semiconductor valence electrons absorbs more energy to become a free electron? See here. What about silicon, germanium? What is the atomic number of germanium? What is the atomic number of germanium? Germanium atomic number is 32, isn't it? It's a tetravalent atom, isn't it? It's a tetravalent atom. What is the energy band gap actually? Energy band gap of germanium is equal to 0.785 electron volts, isn't it? At 0 degree Kelvin. Similarly, what is the energy gap of silicon? Energy gap of silicon is equal to 1.21 electron volts. But what about the energy gap of gallium arsenide? Energy gap of gallium arsenide is equal to 1.43 electron volts. So that means energy gap is very large here. So if energy gap is large means what is that? This is called as conduction band and this is valency band. This is valency band. So this is called energy gap Eg. So this energy gap is large. So therefore, if electron wants to become free, which is present in valency band, so in which of these following terms will absorb more energy means gallium arsenide. Diamond is very less. It's equal to 1.3, I think. 1.3 is diamond. So therefore, out of all this, gallium arsenide absorbs more energy if it wants to become a free electron. Okay. Right. Next one. Which semiconductor valence electrons absorbs more energy to become a free electron? This one we have. This one. In a certain copper conductor, the current density is 2.4 amperes per meter square, and the electron density is 5 into 10 power 28 free electrons per meter cube of the copper. Drift velocity of electrons is. Drift velocity of the electrons is. Find the answer. In a certain copper conductor, the current density is current density is given by what? J. Send me the answer. Anyone answer? How to do this problem? In a certain copper conductor, the current density is given, right? Current density, what is current density? J. J is equal to how much? Current density J is given by 2.4 amperes per meter square. Units are amperes per meter square. Electron density means what? N. N is equal to how much? 5 into 10 power 28 free electrons per meter cube. 10 power 8, 28 electrons per meter cube. Now, what to find here? We need to find drift velocity of electrons. Drift velocity is given by what? V. So drift velocity we need to find. So what is the drift velocity, which depends and contained by formula J and N? So what is the formula? Can you tell me? Anyone? Actually, we know V is equal to mu E, but mu is not there here, and E also is not given. So let us go with the current density J. J is equal to, what is the other formula? We can write rho into V. Rho into V is the other formula. J is equal to, what is rho? What type of semiconductor it's? Electron density is given means what type of semiconductor it is? It is N-type semiconductor. Electron density is given, no? So therefore J is equal to N E capital V. So J 2.4 amperes per meter square is equal to N 5 into 10 power 28 into charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into V. So what is V is equal to? Find out and tell me the answer. Put in a chart box. What is the answer? 2.4 divided by 5 into 10 power 28 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. 1.6 into 10 power minus 9. That is equal to how much? Find the answer now. So in GATE exam, fill in the blanks will also be there, ma. So please be careful with the answer and limit your calculator to 2 digits, ma. 2 digits. After point, you have to limit your calculator to 2 digits, and your answer should be very correct answer. If you miss that, even suppose 1.01, if you get 0.01, then your answer will be wrong, right? If it is 1.01, or if it is, you will get 1.23, then also it is wrong. So it should be in a 2 digits correct manner. So what will be the answer? V is equal to, anyone? Anyone?
0.3 nanovolts.
0.3, 0.3
Nanovolts.
nano, 10 power minus 9. Is it volts or volt per meter? Is it volt or volt per meter? It's not voltage, no. It is drift speed or drift velocity. Drift velocity meters per second, no. Is equal to meters per second. Drift velocity is meters per second, no. Isn't it? So V is equal to 0.3 nanometers per second, not volts. Got it, all of you? Drift velocity. Some are given volts per meter. Volts per meter is wrong answer, no? Yeah, 0.3 nanometers per second. That is right answer. Okay. Let us go for another problem. Please write this problem. A silicon bar is doped with donor impurities Nd is equal to 2.25 into 10 power 15 atoms per centimeter cube. Given the intrinsic carrier concentration of silicon at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin is Ni is equal to 1.5 into 10 power 10 per centimeter cube. Assume complete impurity ionization, comma, the equilibrium electron and hole concentrations are. Find the answer. So what is the answer? The silicon bar is doped with donor impurities Nd. Given data, Nd is given 2.25 into 10 power 15 atoms per centimeter cube. Intrinsic concentration is given Ni, that is equal to 1.5 into 10 power 10 per centimeter cube. This is atoms per centimeter cube. right? Assuming complete impurity ionization, the equilibrium electron and hole concentrations are. Yeah, you need to find electron and also hole concentrations. Tell me, what is this ND? Donor impurities means. What is this one? Donor impurities means it's equal to electron concentration, N. And that too, what type of semiconductor it is? It's a donor impurities, ND. So how to find a hole concentration? By using mass action law. What is mass action law? N into P is equal to Ni square. So N type semiconductor first. Pn is equal to Ni square. Nn means Nd. Nd is equal to Pn, that is equal to Ni square. You might have learned already in mass action law, Ni square divided by Nd. So that is equal to Ni square is 1.5 into 10 power 10 whole square divided by Nd. What is Nd? 2.25 into 10 power 15. So that is equal to 2.25 to 10 power 20 divided by 2.25 into 10 power 15. So what is the answer? 10 power 5 per centimeter cube. So 10 power 5, P is 10 power 5. Where is 10 power 5? 1 into 10 power 5 centimeter cube. So what is N again? N is already given, 2.25 into 10 power 15. So answer D. D is the right answer. D is the right answer. So many have given correct answers. 4G3, 4B7, 4G3, 4G3, 4B7. You do it like this, and then you will get the answer. Okay. Next problem. Next problem. At 300 degree Kelvin in a germanium sample, electron concentration is, assume intrinsic constant, then it is of dash type, p type, n type, intrinsic, extrinsic. Please do it. Answer. Answer. Electron concentration is given n. N is equal to 7.8 into 10 power 12 per centimeter cube. Intrinsic concentration Ni is given 2.5 into 10 power 13 per centimeter cube. Tell me the answer. Anyone? Anyone? Same formula using mass action law. N into P is equal to Ni square. Right. You need to find a P type semiconductor. Right. What it is? What type of semiconductor it is? N is given actually. So P is equal to Ni square.
P type semiconductor.
Yeah, very good. It's a P type semiconductor. 2.5 into 10 power 13 whole square whole divided by N. N means what? 7.8 into 10 power 12. So that is equal to how much? Tell me the answer, ma. How much you got?
6.49 into 10 power 13.
6.49 into 10 power 13 per centimeter cube. So which one is greater? P is greater or N is greater?
P is greater than N.
P is greater than N means what type of semiconductor?
P type
P
semiconductor.
type semiconductor. It's a P type semiconductor. So answer A. It's a P type semiconductor. You should do the problems like this, man. Okay. Shall we go for the problem? In a semiconductor under high electric fields with increasing electric fields, mobility of charge carriers dash and velocity of charge carriers dash. Tell me. Options are not given. A, B, C, D. Mobility decreases, comma, constant. Decreases, comma, decreases. Increases, comma, constant. Increases, comma, increases. What is option? Solution? Answer? In the semiconductor, under high electric fields, with increasing electric fields, mobility of charge carriers dash and velocity of charge carriers dash. Answer? Answer? Answer D. Let us check it. Under high electric fields with increasing electric fields. So what is the relation between velocity and V is equal to mu into E? V is equal to mu into E. So what happens? First case A. As electric field is increasing, what happens to velocity, drift velocity? V is equal to mu E kada. Electric field increases, V also increases. That is first point. Second point, electric field is decreasing. What happens to V? V is equal to mu E. Right? And V is directly proportional to E. Electric field is decreasing. What about drift speed? Drift speed also decreases. Third point, electric field is double increased. If electric field is double increased, what happens? V is directly proportional to E. Then V is equal to constant. V is equal to constant. Please do remember this. You have a curve like this. Electric field intensity and drift speed V. As electric field intensity is increasing, V also increases. It reaches certain point, saturation point. Even if electric field is increases, then drift speed is constant like this. So this is important. Because as electric field is increasing, then there will be a constant drift speed from particular point. This is called saturation point. Okay. Now tell me the answer. With increasing electric field, mobility of charge carriers. What happens to mobility of charge carriers? Electric field is increased. What about mobility? Mu is equal to V by E. So electric field is increased. What happens? Mobility decreases. So mobility decreases. Next. And what happens? Velocity of charge carriers. Velocity V is equal to mu E. Electric field is increasing. Right. And what about the velocity of the charge carriers? Velocity of the charge carriers. Mobility of charge carriers decreases. And velocity of the charge carriers. What happens to velocity of the charge carriers? Electric field is increased. So what happens to velocity? Electric field is increased. Mobility is decreasing. So this is increasing, this is decreasing. So constant. So velocity is equal to constant. Velocity is constant. So the answer is decreases and constant. A. Decreases and constant. Mobility of charge carriers decreases and velocity of charge carriers is constant.